In this episode, we will be discussing Alaska Landlord Tenant laws. The following is a summary of landlord tenant laws in the state of Alaska as they apply to residential rental property. Topics include disclosures, withholding rent, the right to enter, security deposits, eviction and termination, as well as increasing rent. Required disclosures. The landlord must disclose to the tenant in writing before the lease begins the name and address of the person authorized to manage the premises, and the property's owner or a person authorized to act on behalf of the owner to be used for receiving official notices and demands. A landlord must also disclose orally or in writing the conditions under which he or she may withhold all or part of the security deposit. Tenants also have a responsibility. The lease must require the tenant to notify the landlord of an anticipated extended absence from the property that is expected to last more than 7 days. This notice is to be given as soon as reasonably possible once the tenant knows the absence will exceed 7 days. Security deposit limit. A landlord can charge the equivalent of 2 months' rent unless the rent exceeds $2,000 per month. A landlord may also ask for an additional 1 month's rent as deposit for a pet that is not a service animal. Pet deposits can only be used toward pet damage. Deadline for returning a security deposit. A landlord must return the tenant's security deposit within 14 days if the tenant has given proper notice to terminate the tenancy. If the tenant hasn't given proper notice, then the landlord has 30 days. Late fees. Rent is legally due on the date specified in the lease. There is no statute in Alaska that covers late fees for rent. If the lease does not specifically address late fees, the landlord may not collect one. Increasing rent. Landlords must give at least a 30-day notice in writing to increase rent or change another term of a month-to-month lease. Landlords may not increase the rent on a longer-term lease until the lease ends unless it already has a renewal amount specified for a new term. Then no change can be made. Withholding rent. A tenant may withhold rent or exercise their right to repair and deduct if a landlord fails to take care of important repairs such as plumbing leaks. The landlord must be given notice first and a reasonable amount of time to fix the problem before the tenant can take action. Terminating tenancy and eviction. If rent is late, a landlord must give a tenant at least 7 days to pay or move before filing an eviction. The following is a list of time frames when a notice to quit is allowed with no option to cure. 24 hours if a tenant or guest intentionally causes more than $400 of damage to the property or commits the same lease violation within the past 6 months. 3 days may be given when utilities are shut off twice within 6 months. The first time, however, must be cured within 3 days, or the tenant must vacate in 2 additional days. A 5-day notice may be used for specified illegal activity on the premises. A 10-day notice may be used for refusing to allow the landlord to enter. Another 10-day notice may also be used for lease violations affecting health and safety. The right to enter. A landlord must provide the tenant a 24-hour notice of entry before being permitted inside the unit. If the tenant refuses, a 10-day notice to cure or quit may then be served by the landlord. For more information, additional laws and articles can be found at AmericanLandlord.com.